Hello, brothers and sisters. How are you doing today? I'm Michelle, and I'm going to be reading from this incredible book. It's called 101 Proofs for God, or in other words, 101 proofs, undeniable proofs for the existence of God. I came across it from a dear friend, actually. He wrote this book, and his name is Jim Stevens. So on the playlist, you can find his email address, and he would be very happy to communicate with you. He's a very down-to-earth, very kind person of integrity. He's our elder brother. If God is our father, we're all brothers and sisters, whether we don't feel like it or not sometimes. Okay, I am going to be reading proof number 40 to the existence of God. And it's called chirality, or chemical handedness. Here's a great proof for God from chemistry that I recently learned about. When two molecules appear identical and their structures differ only by being mirror images of each other, those molecules are said to have chirality. Your left and right hands illustrate chirality, and so do your left and right feet. Your hands may appear to be identical, but in reality, they are only mirror images of each other, hence the term handedness. You probably know that DNA is made up of 4 simple nucleotides, and that DNA is in the shape of a spiral staircase. Well, actually, getting even more specific, DNA is always in the shape of a right-handed spiral staircase. When amino acids are formed in the laboratory, they can result with either chirality, left-handed or right-handed, in a 50% to 50% ratio. In our body, every single amino acid of every protein is found with the same left-handed chirality. When a random chemical reaction is used to prepare molecules having chirality, there is an equal opportunity to prepare the left-handed isomer as well as the right-handed isomer. There are no exceptions. There are no exceptions. The DNA molecule is made up of billions of complicated chemical molecules called nucleotides, and these nucleotide molecules exist as the R, or right-handed optical isomer. The L isomer of nucleotides can be prepared in the lab, but they do not exist in natural DNA. There is no way that a random chance process could have formed these proteins and DNA with their unique chirality. If the chemicals were produced in a random process, there would be a 50-50 mix, yet the results are all proteins have a left-handedness, and all DNA has a right-handedness. The orderliness is astounding, absolutely not random. To make a strand of DNA step by step, as evolutionists claim, and still make the correct spiral, all the steps in the strand must bend the same way, which is to the right. In another chapter, I talked about how human DNA has over 3 billion steps on the ladder, or characters in the chain. All those characters have to be in the correct order, or you don't get a human being. And this happening randomly? My goodness. Chirality adds an even more impossible level of difficulty for DNA to have formed by accidental mutation, as the evolutionist faith believes. In building up the DNA staircase step by step, every step that is added must turn out to be ones that bend to the right. If you were going to build a spiral staircase with your eyes closed, and you start out with an equal number of left and right handed steps, you could never build the spiral. It's impossible. Here is one very famous case of chirality in life. Do you remember the drug, thalidomide? Thalidomide. It is a sedative drug that was prescribed to pregnant women from 1957 into the early 60s. It was present in at least 46 countries under different brand names. When taken during the first trimester of pregnancy, thalidomide prevented the proper growth of the fetus, resulting in horrific birth defects in thousands of children around the world. Why? The thalidomide molecule is chiral. There are left and right-handed thalidomides, just as there are left and right hands. The drug that was marketed was a 50-50 mixture. One of the molecules, say the left one, was a sedative, whereas the right one was found later to cause fetal abnormalities. The tragedy is claimed to have been entirely avoidable had the physiological properties of the individual thalidomide molecules been tested prior to commercialization. Right? Another example is the artificial sweetener, aspartame, which is more than 100 times sweeter than sucrose. However, the mirror image molecule is bitter. Not only is all DNA right-handed, but proteins are all left-handed. There are 20 different amino acids needed in your body to sustain your life. They are the building blocks for an estimated 2 million proteins in your body. Your DNA acts like the designer for the proteins. It links molecules together along its length by a type of hand clasping or matching. This is why when the proteins are formed, they are all left-handed when they separate to go about their important functions in the body. In 1953, Stanley Miller and Harold Urey did an experiment with a mixture of methane, ammonia, hydrogen, and water vapor by passing it through an electric discharge. A few amino acids resulted, and the newspaper headline was, "Life in a test tube." Don't be fooled. Sure, amino acids make up proteins, and proteins are important for life, but a few amino acids are not life any more than a few auto parts laid out on your driveway make a car, especially if the parts are all left-handed. By the way, it turns out their experiment was discredited anyway because their mixture of ingredients is no longer believed to be the original formula for the primitive atmosphere of the earth. Okay. Your body is a walking miracle every instant in time. The chirality of all the amino acids and nucleotides proves it. So there must be God. Wow, that's awesome. So thank you so much, Jim, for sharing this with us. So deep. Well, all right. So I will see you another time. And that is going to be chapter 41, which is called The Very First Living Cell. Okay, everyone, take care. Have a good day. Bye.